We have two very talented artists, art therapists joining us that have created a very cool studio to help those of us that need some art therapy. Please welcome Michal Berman and Natasha Miller. South Africa in the house, New York in the house, fellow Olim Chadashim. So welcome to the show. Explain kind of how this whole process of finding yourselves involved in art therapy, which we hear so much more about now.
Right.
How it started.
Right. So I actually always wanted to study art therapy. There wasn't a course offered in South Africa. Anyway, about 13 years later, fast forward to being in Israel, I made Aliyah 9 years ago, and I started just teaching from my apartment.
We have to find a way to make a living. It's not easy.
Exactly. with friends from Ulpan. And the studio, well, that small studio grew and grew and grew into the space that it is today. I managed to study art therapy at Haifa University, which was just like my dream come true. And so we've just incorporated art therapy into, we do like private art therapy sessions and groups. But we also filter it into the philosophy of the studio. Even students come to us and say that just the regular art lessons, they use it a lot as a therapeutic space.
Of course. So so for you also, you came here, you were a lone soldier. I'm like, this girl is brave. So how did you find yourself in this line of work?
Yeah, so it's definitely a difference from coming here as a shooting instructor in the IDF to starting with Natasha in our studio and teaching children and teaching adults and kind of creating this amazing space. And then I also went to the same program Natasha did in Haifa and learned art therapy, and now we have this incredible community happening.
So how does it work? I mean, so you do like privates, but then you also do group classes, and it's just people of all walks in life, like people that are like me that just want to find a creative outlet versus, artists that actually want to take it further than just a hobby?
Sure. So the classes are geared to everyone from age 5 to age 89 from all walks of life. What's really nice about the classes is you walk in and you'll see people from everywhere. You'll see people from South Africa, from America, from Russia, from Israel, from everywhere. And it's really nice because you have people who have never touched a pencil before all the way to people who are professional artists. And kind of taking it there and coming up with a safe space and a place for them to create and tap into their inner artist.
Fantastic. Now, as far as the art therapy is concerned, from your standpoint, explain. We know this, but explain how art therapy really helps. People that actually are dealing with trauma or sexual abuse, child abuse, and whatnot. How does it help?
Well, I think there's this misconception that art therapy is just for children, but really, art therapy is for everybody. We often find it difficult to find words to express how we're feeling. So art therapy often helps with finding a way of communicating and expressing how we feel, and then using the art to reflect back on that. So it helps us to find words, it helps us to express how we feel. And a lot of trauma, happens in childhood, I think, and we carry it through into
our lives.
Adult life.
Exactly, right. So, I'm sure you're seeing a lot of adults that maybe are discovering or remembering some of those traumas, and then having to, go through the emotional, current of feeling, of reliving it, but then healing it. Have you seen that in results?
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely. I mean, it's... As children, especially, we don't have the words to express how we're feeling. So when we are children, it's difficult to go back into that space and, if you feel the trauma, but you still don't have the words. So it really helps with that. But we also have, we're approached by organizations to work with groups, like specific populations that have experienced trauma, recently, or, have gone through some very difficult illness, or there's a group of soldiers we're working with now.
Yeah, right now I'm working with a group of soldiers from the IDF that were wounded in the past, that suffer from some trauma, and they come and they paint every week, and they're making amazing, amazing works that kind of tap into a different side than what they know.
Right, amazing. What kind of plans do you have, for the future? Are you planning to add more? I mean, it sounds like you guys are really a huge success. You can add more classes, more programs.
Well, We absolutely have tons and tons of workshops coming up in terms of including music and art, and we have Baby and Me Make Art with Natasha runs, and it's amazing. It's absolutely the cutest thing you've ever seen. And we're looking to grow and expand and meet many new artists in Tel Aviv and tourists and Olim.
A safe space, a creative space, a very nurturing space. So thank you guys so much.
Thank
this is
you.
Really, really exciting and interesting. I want to come take a class.
Come,
I would.
please.
I need some art therapy to like show that I actually really can draw something. Thank you guys so much.
Thank you.